Hello traders, FXPIPCOLLECTOR here. Today is Wednesday, May 17th, and welcome to today's live stream. Thanks for coming. I really do appreciate the support as usual. So as usual, we're going to start off by looking at the DXY and the US dollar index. We're going to try to figure out what's going on with the dollar, and then we're going to apply that information to all the other dollar pairs, including gold. Then we're going to go look at some yen pairs. Then we'll probably look at oil, probably natural gas, maybe check out Bitcoin, look at the Nasdaq and the S&P 500, and probably circle back to the dollar pairs. Now, today, even though it is Wednesday, was definitely kind of a slow day for the news today. Not really a whole lot of news today for the dollar especially, so not really much going on with news. But it is Wednesday, and Wednesday is definitely known to be one of the bigger news events, bigger days of the week when it comes to volatility in the market. So just because there's no news doesn't really necessarily mean that there's not going to be any trades today. So if you have not done so already, definitely like and subscribe to my channel. It makes a big difference to help push my channel out to new members. And if you haven't done so already, definitely join my Discord channel. It's 100% free to join. No obligations to pay a dime if you do not want to. I do offer a service if anybody is interested. So check out my Patreon if you are interested in checking out my trading course or my members forecast area on Discord. So let's get started right away, and let's start off with the DXY analysis on the monthly time frame. Now, I still think that this monthly time frame is most likely a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of A, an A, B, C of B, and it looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of wave C. Now, we did make an impulsive move to the downside right here, and we did break structure to the downside, which should prove that this whole move up is over. If that whole move up is over, then it should be a wave C, and that means that this actually should just keep on trending down, making lower lows and lower highs, probably eventually going down and taking out this low. Now, we are on the monthly time frame, so that's going to take a very, very long time to play out. So let's head down to the weekly, and we did have to kind of change things up a little bit on some of these shorter time frames because I think it's pretty clear that we are in for a decent little move to the upside. I still think the trend is down, but I think they probably are going to make a move to the upside first. So I still think this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, probably a wave 1. But like I've been saying for several weeks now, there's definitely a possibility this is an A, B, C of 2. It is an impulsive move up, probably a wave A. Now we can kind of see like a three-way pattern down right there, so it could already have a B. And if that's the case, then this may just end up continuing the uptrend for a wave C. Like I've been saying for several weeks now, it would actually be a much clearer pattern if this was an ABC correction to this last move down, maybe an ABC of 2, and then it ends up continuing the downtrend. So keep that in mind while we're looking at the shorter time frames. Now, on the shorter time frames, I do still have my Fibonacci retracement here because if this does go up to one of these Fibonacci levels, making a big, impulsive, engulfing turn, then we will know that there was just a correction to this last move down and it's not making a big wave C. But like I said, looking at what's going on over the last few days, it is starting to look more and more like this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of A. This is probably all a wave A right here. This is probably an A, B, C of B, and this probably is the wave C. So we probably already have that A, B, C of B, and if that's the case, that means that we are probably just going to keep on going up, maybe all the way back up to the highs of wave A, maybe a little bit further to make a wave C before it actually does end up continuing the downtrend. Now on the higher time frames, I still expect that the dollar will continue down, but it seems to me like it wants to go up to finish a wave C before it actually goes down. So now when we start looking at these shorter time frames, we really got to keep in mind what we just saw on the higher time frames because that is a very, very important. So we are going down right now, but I think based on the longer time frames, that's going to be a correction to this move up. Most likely it will end the correction, and it probably is just going to keep on trending up. Telling me that really the best bet for us at this point is to probably just continue to look for longs at the end of pullbacks. So if this makes some sort of a three-way pattern down, something like this, a very corrective three-way pullback, an impulsive move up, that's exactly what I'm looking for in the future for the next entry to go long for the continuation of this uptrend. Now, most likely what's going to happen is it's going to make a correction to just this last wave. It'll probably go to maybe like 50% of this wave up and then turn back up and continue the uptrend. So based on the dollar, especially the longer time frames, we need to now take this information that we just learned from analyzing that, and we need to apply it to all these other US dollar pairs, which is why I did change my analysis, especially on like the daily 4-hour time frame for a lot of these dollar pairs as of today, because I think it's pretty clear that the dollar is going up on the higher time frames, and it's probably going to go up at least, I would say, at least probably to like the $1,300 area to finish the wave C. So in that case, that means that if we have a long ways to go up on the dollar, we probably got a long ways to go down on these pairs also. So going down to the euro dollar, we'll start off on the daily time frame and then we'll start working our way down. Now what I did here is I put my Fibonacci extension measure in this wave, projected it off the top of this wave. Yeah, most wave C's do go to the 100% Fibonacci extension of wave A, projected off the top of wave B. So if this is a wave C, which it does start to look like it really is, then it's probably just going to continue the downtrend, probably down to the 78 or the 100% Fibonacci extension level to finish off this ABC before it makes an impulsive move to the outside and ends up continuing the uptrend. So I do want to keep an eye on these fib levels as it goes down, because it definitely could turn really at any one of these levels. And I still expect the trend is up on the very long time frame, so if it does go down, bounce off any one of those levels in a big way, then we'll definitely think that that's the end of an ABC correction, and I'll definitely be prepared to go long for the continuation of the uptrend. Now, as we go down to shorter time frames, we really just got to keep that in mind. As you can see on this time frame, it has been making lower lows, lower highs the whole way down. No reason to think it's over yet. The last structure level is way up there, so there's really no reason to think it's over. It is passing a Fibonacci level, which makes me think that it probably is just going to keep on drifting down. And it may very easily just keep on going down all the way to the 100% Fibonacci extension. So if that's the case, that means we got a pretty decent amount of downside potential still, telling me that if I do see some opportunities, those are sorting opportunities, are definitely what I'm looking for the continuation of potentially a big wave C on the daily time frame. So let's take it right down to the 1 hour. 1 hour time frame, as you can see, we pretty much have been making lower highs, lower high. That's a little bit higher, but it only spiked above. Lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high the whole way down. Definitely no reason to think this is over. It's passing a fib level, no break of structure to the upside. Even if it does start to go up a little, it's probably just going to be another correction like this. ABC up, ABC up, ABC up. Any one of these ABC three-way patterns would have been an excellent trade to go short for the continuation of this downtrend. So that tells me if I see another three-way pattern, another variation of this three-way pattern in the future, those are still the trades I'm looking for until I get some sort of proof on the higher time frames that this big move down is over, which we don't have yet, telling me that I'm just going to continue to look for shorts in a downtrend. So now we got the euro dollar kind of figured out. Let's go check out the pound dollar. Let's go back up to the daily time frame. Now the pound dollar has been very strong, so I honestly wouldn't be surprised if it did end up turning at one of these higher Fibonacci levels, maybe even did something like that and just ended up continuing up. So my analysis really hasn't changed that much. I still think that the part that's clear, I always try to find the search for clarity. The search for clarity for me definitely shows me a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then this move down is probably a wave A. This move up is probably 1, 2, 3 waves up for a B. Probably an irregular wave B because it took out the high of wave 5, or an irregular top as I like to call it. And we are most likely going down now for a wave C. It definitely could turn at any one of these Fibonacci levels, so we definitely want to look on shorter time frames for evidence that this wave C is over. Now most wave C's do go to 100% Fibonacci extension of wave A projected out the top of wave B. So if that's the case, it very easily could have a decent amount of downside potential before it really does end up continuing the uptrend. I still think this is a 1, I still think this is going to be an ABC of 2, and I still believe that we're going to make that big wave 3 on like the monthly time frame. Taking it down to the 4-hour time frame, I really don't see any reason as of yet to think that this move down is complete. It looks like a trend right here. It looks like a 1 really, and it looks like a 2. I bet this has actually got a decent amount of downside potential. I would say the 100% or the 78% are likely places for this to go. So let's zoom out just a little so we can see those areas. So if that's the case, that means that this may just keep on going down all the way to here, around the 1.203 area. If that's the case, that means we have a long ways to go to the downside, and we don't want to be thinking the whole way down. That's why I changed my analysis a little bit. We don't want to be thinking this whole way down that it could turn up at any minute. Instead, what we need to do is just continue to look for shorts and enjoy our sorting opportunities on the way down until we get a proof that this move down is over with a big break of structure to the upside. So taking it down to the 1 hour time frame, yes, we are going up right now, and yes, the pound has been very strong lately, but to me it looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe even a 1. This looks like an A, B, C up, probably a 2. I think there's probably a better chance now that this is just going to keep on drifting down. So if I do see any three-way pullbacks, I am definitely looking for sorting opportunities for the continuation of this downtrend. Based on the longer time frames, like the daily time frame range, it looks like we're in a wave C, and if this really is a 1, 2, 3 right now, then we're probably in the very early stages of this wave 3, and we probably have a long ways to go to the downside, meaning that there's probably going to be lots of sorting opportunities on the way down. So let's check out the Aussie dollar real quick to see what's up with that one. Now the Aussie dollar... Sorry, I was just checking my Discord. So the Aussie dollar, let's head back out to the daily. Now this one has been really struggling to go up, so looking at this again on the longer time frames, which I actually thought this quite a few weeks ago, but I still was trying to stick to my original thought, but it definitely did make 3 waves up right there. And if you look at it on the monthly weekly, if you watch my full top-down video on the Aussie dollar, which I put out today, you can see 3 waves up on all those time frames, and it keeps making lower highs, so it's really trending down, and it looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It could even be like a wave 1 or something. It looks like an A 3 waves down and a B, so it really could be like a 2 or an A and a, or it could also be an A and a B, which would kind of make a lot of sense looking at the dollar index. And it really looks like it turned at the 38% level after making a corrective move to the upside. If that's the case, then this is probably going to make a move to the downside, maybe even all the way down to and beyond this low. So we definitely want to continue to look for shorts on shorter time frames. Hello, Alfonso, Quizzy, how's it going today? Test, Connor, how's everybody doing? X-Men, thanks for the support. Let me know if you want me to look at anything for you. I'd be more than happy to do so. So on the Aussie dollar 4 hour, I think at this point, this is definitely at the end of a wave C. We definitely have a break of structure. I think that any moves that we see to the upside at this point are just going to be corrections to the downtrend, telling me that really the best opportunities for us are probably going to be looking for shorts in a downtrend for the continuation of this downtrend. Thanks a lot, buddy. Hello, Afik, Rosie, Wasley. How's it going today? So going down to the 1 hour time frame, we really need to keep in mind what we saw on the daily time frame. What we saw on the daily time frame is that there's a good chance that this wave C is over. That means this is probably a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right here, probably like a 1. This is probably like an ABC of 2, and this is probably just going to keep on trending down at this point for a wave 3. If this really is like a wave 3 of wave C or a wave 3 of wave 3, either way we probably have a long ways to go to the downside, telling me that if I do see any moves to the upside, they're probably going to be corrections to the downtrend, and our best bet as of now is going to be to continue to look for sorting opportunities on these shorter time frames. So let's check out the Kiwi dollar. Kiwi dollar is a little different. It's a little stronger than the Aussie dollar, but I'm starting to think probably pretty much the same thing on this one also. I haven't really updated this one yet, but it does look to me like an ABC right here. This is probably actually the end of a correction right here. This is probably a downtrend. This is probably an ABC up, and this is probably just going to keep on going down for either a 1, 2, 3, or maybe a B, C. Either way, it seems to me like that does have a long of downside potential to finish off this move to the downside. So, looking at it on the 4-hour time frame, we have a very impulsive move to the downside. As you can see, it didn't bounce off a fib level or anything, so most likely this move up that we're seeing now is going to be a correction to this move down. So if we see like 3 waves up, which we already have 3 waves up, if we see an impulsive move down, that's probably going to be a really good entry to go short. There's a good chance that this is like a 1-2 also, and it's going to finish that 2 and make a wave 3. So taking it down to the 1-hour time frame, really on the 1-hour time frame, what we should be doing now is getting rid of that Fibonacci level and putting this fib on here, and we should be looking for a rejection of the fib level after making 3 waves up. We have an uptrend right here, probably a wave A. We have 3 waves down right here, probably a wave B. And then this right here is probably a wave C. We are at the 38%, so if it turns down in a big way, I would believe that's the end of a correction and maybe even the continuation of the downtrend. But looking at other pairs, it probably is going to go up to like the 50%. Maybe even the 61.8 to finish that wave C, make an impulsive move down, take out structure, and most likely just continue the downtrend. So at this point, it looks like the best bet for us probably is going to be looking for shorts in a downtrend. So going to the US dollar Canadian. US dollar Canadian, hi Vicky, how's it going? So on the US dollar Canadian, I had to change my analysis on this one a little bit too, because if this was the end of a wave ABC right here, like I've been saying over the last couple of weeks, and that this was really in a wave 3 is supposed to be the biggest, strongest wave of a trend. And that if this was a wave 3, it wouldn't be very overlapping. This is the picture of a correction, especially if you look at it on the higher time frames, like looking at it on the monthly and weekly. That's extremely corrective. That's very, very corrective. Going down to the daily time frame, which is a more shorter time frame, that probably means that this is actually an A. This is probably an A, B, C, a B, and this is probably a downtrend right here for the C. This move up did break structure. This move down did make a higher low, higher low. This is probably going to end up continuing the uptrend also. I think there's a good chance it's probably just going to go up and make like a double top on the weekly, monthly, but it's still probably going to be a pretty good sized move to the upside before it turns down and makes that big move down like we have been expecting. So going down to the 4-hour time frame, what do we see on the 4-hour time frame? I see almost a perfect trend. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you looked up a Elliott wave trend, that would be pretty much what you would see right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down. Then nice impulsive move up, break of structure. Then we have corrective down, 3 waves down. Very strong down, but it definitely made a higher low, and it turned back up. I got my Fibonacci on here because I think this is going to be a correction. I think it's already bounced off the 61.8. I think it's going to end up continuing the uptrend, probably just slowly making its way up, telling me that really the best bet for me right now would be looking for longs in an uptrend. Going down to the 1-hour time frame, it looks like an A, B, C down right here. Hey, Fly Moon. Yeah, we'll check out natural gas and oil. I pretty much every live stream now, just because I have a lot of members that do like oil and natural gas. So pretty much every live stream, I'm pretty much look at those. So on the 1 hour, we definitely had 3 waves down to a fib level with a nice impulsive move up. It did make a big move to the downside, but I think that's just going to be like a bear trap, and I think it's probably just going to keep on going up, telling me that I am looking for longs. And really, if you look at that on a little bit shorter time frame, it's starting to look like it's going to make a long right now, honestly. I mean, this is corrective down. It make it a higher low, and now it's making impulsive up. That may end up being a long opportunity, and it may just keep on going up right there. So definitely keep an eye on that one, especially with that big spike right there. We have a close of that candle in about 9-10 minutes. So it's looking like that might be a spike reversal right there, and it might just keep on going up. So US dollar Swiss, I haven't updated this one yet either. The Swiss and the Kiwi are the only 2 dollar pairs I haven't updated yet today. All the other dollar pairs I have. Now I still believe on the higher time frames that this is going to be a wave 3, but I'm starting to think now that it's probably going to make a big move up and then make a bigger move down. So I still think that this is going to go down, but not before it makes a bigger move to the upside. So let's give it a that. We definitely have a break of structure. That does prove that this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that this whole trend is complete. If we know that that whole trend is complete, then we know that we can put our Fibonacci on here, and we know that the next move is most likely going to be a correction to this move down. So that means that this is probably going to end up making some sort of a three-way pattern, probably go up to one of these fib levels. Really, you can look left to see which one has a lot of support. That's 61 and the 50 are very, very, there's been a lot of support and resistance in those areas in the past, so it's probably going to be either the 50 or the 61.8 where this actually ends up turning back down. But we are on the daily, so that means we probably will have a pretty decent move up. Going down to the 4-hour time frame. 4-hour time frame, we definitely have a break of structure to the upside, pretty much proving to me that this move down is over. So it is looking a little on the corrective side, but I think it's probably just going to keep on making some sort of a three-way pattern. We're probably only in a wave A right now, so eventually it's probably going to make an A, a B, and then probably go up to either the 61 or the 50% to make a wave C. And then probably in a week or maybe 2 weeks, it will end the correction and end up continuing the downtrend. So that tells me on the 1-hour time frame, I definitely want to be looking for longs and an uptrend for SOAR. I see 3 waves down, entry to go long. 3 waves down, go long. 3 waves down, even right there, 3 waves down. Right there, 3 waves down. Even right here, 3 waves down. So I'm still looking for three-way patterns. The higher time frames tell me that there's no reason to think otherwise. Yeah, we're going to look at the yen pairs, and we're going to look at the dollar yen also. So there's no reason to think that this is over. So if it makes some sort of a three-way pattern down, just like these ones in the past, then I will go long again for the continuation of what's probably going to be an ABC correction on the longer time frames. So let's check out that US dollar yen. That's been very strong up, probably because the yen is helping it. I still think this back here is most likely a downtrend, probably a 1. This is probably a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, probably an A. I still think it's probably going to be a B, and I still think we're probably in a C. But I'm starting to think definitely that it's probably going to go up to one of these higher fib levels. The 61.8 seems like a very likely area because there was a very supportive area in the past. The 50% also has quite a bit of support in the past too, so the 50 or the 61.8 I think are going to be likely places for this to turn before it makes an impulsive move down, and probably heading back down. But we are on the daily time frame, so that probably means we have a decent amount of upside potential, especially on the shorter time frames. So going down to the shorter time frames, really all I'm starting to focus on these shorter time frames is pullbacks, three-way patterns, 3 waves down, 3 waves down, 3 waves down, entry to go long. Even right there we can see a little three-way pattern on the shorter time frames especially. So I don't think this is over. Maybe it'll just continue to drift up, but if it does make another three-way pullback, another impulsive move up, something similar to any of these ones in the past, then that's exactly what I'm looking for an entry to go long for the continuation of this uptrend. So let's take it down to the 1-hour time frame. 1-hour time frame, there's that three-way pattern I just showed you, a little more clear on this time frame. Even right there I see 3 waves down, probably a 30-minute ABC correction. So I don't really see any reason to think this is over. I'm sure it probably will make a pullback at some point, which, like I always say, pullbacks are actually good for us because at the end of a pullback is where I look to go long in an uptrend for the continuation of that trend. So I don't really see any reason to think this trend is over, so I would just continue to look for longs in an uptrend. And I would definitely only be looking to go long at the end of pullbacks for sure. So let's see here. I just want to see. Yeah, I would be looking for shorts. Oil news in 57 minutes. Must be about 30 minutes now. It must be a little bit of a low level news because I don't see it on my news calendar, so it's probably a low level news. Let me just check real quick. Let's see here. Today we probably got inventory news or something coming out today. Crude oil investors coming out at 3:30. They're expecting it to be down quite a bit. Less than forecasted is good for the currency, so they're saying it's going to be less than forecasted, that it's going to be less than last time, so it should be good for oil, so oil prices should go up based on that. I definitely don't really base anything on that. I take stuff like that as a grain of salt, but it definitely could end up turning out that way based on my analysis. So going to gold, I think it's pretty obvious that gold is heading down. Now, maybe this really is the end of a wave 5 on the longer time frames. Maybe not. Maybe it's just going to make a crescent to this move up, something like this, and then continue up later on. Maybe it's going to make a crescent to this whole move. Either way, we can just take it one step at a time. Right now, we see a downtrend. That's definitely a trend. So this is either going to be a wave A or a wave 1. That tells us that next we're either going to have a B or a 2. And then on the third wave, we'll either have a C, which a C would look like this, or a wave 3, which a wave 3 would just keep on going. So right now, the only thing that really matters to us is that we're going down in a trend, meaning that we should be looking for sorts on shorter time frames. So on the shorter time frames, let's get rid of that just because I like to keep these shorter time frames as clean as possible. But I think it's pretty obvious now in hindsight. Like I said, I was originally thinking this was all going to be a crescent, but now it's pretty obvious that it's a 1. This is like a 2. And I think we're in the middle of a wave 3, and it's probably not even over. It's probably going to stretch out quite a bit. Probably eventually turn into that 3, 4, 5 of 1 or 3, 4, 5 of A. Either scenario definitely doesn't matter because either way it should be a downtrend, and we should be in a wave 3, whether it's an A of 3 or a 1 of 3. It definitely doesn't matter right now. Only thing that matters is we know that we're in a downtrend, and we know that the trend is probably not over, so that tells us that on these shorter time frames we can just continue to look for shorts at the end of ABC pullbacks. 3 waves up, go short. 3 waves up, go short. Even right there, 3 waves up, go short. So if right here, 3 waves up, go short. I might have even been today, honestly, this morning probably, early London, a late Asian session. So if we see another 3-way pattern to the upside, another impulsive move down, I would definitely take that as another sorting opportunity. So definitely don't see any reason as of now to think this downtrend is over. I think we're most likely in a big wave A or a big wave 1. Either scenario, I think we're in a wave 3, and the wave 3 is most likely not over. You can kind of really, silver was a little bit leading on this pattern. We should have been paying a little bit closer attention to silver because it's very obvious that silver is going down for either A or 1. Gold wasn't that obvious until recently, and now silver was obvious quite a bit before. So the next move should be a B, and then it should go down for a C, or it would make an ABC of 2 and then go down for a 3. So either way, I do expect gold and silver probably has a decent amount of downside potential. It looks like those sellers are finally taking over on this pattern. No doubt about it, that thing is in a downtrend now. So let's go check out the yen pairs, see what's going on with the yen. I believe that the yen pairs on the daily time frame did end the crescent, maybe last week, mid last week. Looks like 3 waves down to a fib level. Looks like an impulsive move up. That means that this should just keep on going up. It should break this high, and it should just keep on making higher highs, higher lows, and just keep on trending. 4-hour time frame. 4-hour time frame is where you can start to see the downtrend. Looks like an A. That's right there is probably a 3-way pattern up for the B. This is probably a downtrend for the C. Turned right at the 38%. Now it looks like it's in an uptrend. I'm sure there's going to be some bigger pullbacks along the way, but I bet this is now trending up. So that tells me that we really need to start looking for longs at the end of any of these pullbacks for the continuation of this trend. When you have the end of an ABC, price should at least go up and take out the previous high. So taking it down to the 1-hour time frame. 1-hour time frame, really the only thing I'm focused on down here is looking for trades in the direction of my longer time frame analysis. 3 ways down, go long. 3 ways down, long. This one is kind of an irregular ABC. I think that's an ABC right there with an irregular wave B. And now it looks like we're going up for the trend. So like I said, if I see any more pullbacks, I'm sure there's going to be plenty of them on these sort of time frames. So if I see any pullbacks, then those are definitely the trades that I'm looking for the continuation of this trend. So the pound yen, the pound has actually been quite a bit stronger, which is why the pound is stronger to the upside. Obviously, you can look at all pound pairs and see that the pound has been strong lately. 3 waves down, 2 to 61.8, impulsive move up. That should go up and take out the previous high, and it most likely is going to go at least to the 78%. Most likely, I bet it's going to just break out of that area too and just keep on going up. 4-hour time frame is where you can start to see, just like the euro yen, you can start to see the A, you can see the 3 waves up for the B, and you can see the downtrend for the C. Then turned right at the 61.8, nice and impulsive uptrend. We had a pullback recently right here, and really it probably is no reason to think this is over. I would just keep on looking for longs in an uptrend for sure. So let's see here. What else do we have? Let's go down to the 1-hour time frame. 1-hour time frame. We're looking for longs. We're looking for 3-way pullbacks to go long. 1, 2, 3 down. 1, 2, 3 down. Definitely no entry right now. I definitely wouldn't go long now because you could be entering long right at the end of a wave. But if it does make another pullback, another impulsive move up, I would definitely take that as a long opportunity for the continuation of this trend for sure. So let's see. The Aussie, pretty much the same thing. You know, we're looking for longs. I'm looking for longs really on all the yen pairs. So the Aussie yen is no different. I'm definitely looking for longs at the end of pullbacks. The Kiwi, definitely the same thing. Kiwi's actually pretty strong right now. 3-way pullbacks is what I'm looking for on the sort of time frames. It looks like it's getting ready to start a pullback now, which is excellent for us. We are taking out this high right here, which is probably why it's pulling back, because there's probably a lot of sellers sitting up there, a lot of pending, sell orders, pending sell limits, or buy orders sitting right there causing price to go down. So let's head down to the Canadian yen. This is one of the ones that I like to look at because one of my members is a big fan of this one. So I still think this is headed up also. I still think that this is a big ABC correction. I think this is an uptrend, probably a 1, and I still think this is going to just keep on making its way up, probably all part of like a wave 3. So that tells me, just like the other yen pairs, I'm looking for longs on sort of time frames. So I'm looking for pullbacks. This one had a little bit of an irregular correction, but it was definitely an A. 3 waves up for the B and a wave C. The wave C turned at the 61.8% of this move up, made an impulsive move up. It has been trending up ever since. We did just recently break a high, so that may be a good area for a pullback, maybe a good area to take profit if you are already long, but it's also a good area to start looking for longs at the end of the next pullback for the continuation of this uptrend. So let's keep going down to the 1-hour time frame. 1-hour time frame, what are we doing? We're looking for 3-way pullbacks for the entries to go long. This one was a little bit of a 3-wave, and not very that clear, but it was 3 waves. This was 3 waves also. There was a 3-wave pattern right there before the Canadian news yesterday. And like I said, it looks like it's probably going to make another 3-wave pullback maybe today into tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow or late Asian session or something like that. We'll have another opportunity to go long for the continuation of the trend. So I'm definitely still looking for longs on all yen pairs. Definitely don't see any reason to think otherwise. So keep on trading with the trend. Swiss yen, same exact thing, looking for longs. This one is at all-time highs, so maybe this one's going to struggle a little bit. But I'm definitely looking for longs. I'm looking for impulsive up. I'm looking for breaks of structure. If I see any of those things, I will go long again for the continuation of the uptrend. So let's see. We checked out all the dollar pairs. We checked out the yen pairs. Let me see if there's any other Forex requests before I move on to oil. I guess we do have some oil inventory news coming out pretty shortly. So let's go check out oil and natural gas, see what's going on with those things. It's already going up a little bit, isn't it? Let's get rid of that fib for now. I still think that this is in a wave 2, and this is going to be like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of A, and eventually it's going to make a B and then go up and make a C. It still looks like that's the most likely thing to happen with this one. So keep that in mind while we go down. I don't know, it kind of looks like a trend followed by a correction, doesn't it? Especially with the fact that we got news coming out. This may make another push down, honestly. I wouldn't, if it wasn't for the fact that we got news coming out in a few minutes, I may not actually think this. But it definitely looks like a downtrend right there. This looks like almost perfect 3 waves up. It's probably going to make one more push down. Probably take out the low of wave A before it actually heads up and makes that wave 3. Or, you don't know, oil very easily could just keep on drifting down. So if that does make a sorting opportunity today at the news, then it would definitely be worth going short, because they very easily may not even make a wave C. It very easily could just keep on going down. I really don't see any reason to think, besides the pattern, that the trend is over on the higher time frames. I don't see any break of structure. Even on the daily we don't have any break of structure. We have a little bit of a higher low trying to form, but if that turns down, that's going to disappear. So I would definitely take that as a short if it does happen, and then while you're short, you will learn whether it's a wave C, which a wave C would look like this, or whether it's a wave 3, which a wave 3 will just keep on trending down. So definitely worth going short either scenario. See here, go up to here. Really what we should be doing on these lower time frames is putting our Fibonacci, measuring this whole move down. And we should be looking for some sort of a reversal, a rejection of a fib level. Like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of A, B, C. We already got a big spike right here. We got news coming out shortly, so this may already have made its high. It may just start working its way down for either a C or possibly a 3. Either scenario, it's probably going to make for a pretty profitable shorting opportunity. Let's see, natural gas, is this thing cooperating or what? Kinda. I still think there's a very good likelihood we've ended a wave 3, and that we're going to start making our way up to make like an ABC of 4, which would be about the same size as what I think is a 2 right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then back down again for a 5, probably up to the 23 or the 38%. It seems like it's a very clear pattern on like the daily range, so I'm still sticking to that idea. Let's see, going down to the 4 hour, it definitely has made some pretty clear 3-way patterns. 3 ways down, go long. This right here looks like it's trying to form 3 ways down also. I don't know if this oil inventory news will affect the natural gas also, but it definitely could. So I would keep an eye on that. Let's head down one more step, and then let's throw a Fibonacci on there and see if we can spot a rejection of a fib level. Oh, we are sitting right at the 38%. We have 1, 2, 3 waves down. We're at a Fibonacci level. If this makes an impulsive engulfing turn to the upside, I would definitely take that as a long. Based on the higher time frames, it really does seem like this thing needs to go up and make that wave 4. So if that's the case, we really should just keep on going long at the end of any of these ABC pullbacks that we may see. So yeah, definitely keep a close eye on that one for sure. Let's see what Bitcoin's up to. I don't really look at Bitcoin as much as I used to. Ooh, it's starting to break structure down, isn't it? That's actually... Yeah, it's definitely starting to break structure down. I've been saying for months now, or at least a month or so, that this is either an A, B, C, or it's a 1, 2, 3. If it's a 1, 2, 3, then it's just going to keep on going up like that. If it's an ABC, then it's going to break structure clearly and just go down again. So in that case, going down here, if this starts to really break below structure and starts to close below structure, I would say that that's the end of this trend. right here. If this is the end of a trend, and then this is the end of a trend, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then this is a correction in the middle, so we have a trend and a trend with a correction in the middle, that probably means that it is probably going to be an ABC. So if this breaks structure to the downside, I would definitely start looking for shorts in a downtrend, because if this is the end of an ABC, then we are in for a pretty big move to the downside. And now that that banking news has kind of calmed down a little bit, maybe we will finally go down to that 12,000, what was it, like $12,000, $10,000 area, which I was originally forecasting a few months ago. So 4-hour time frame, we were looking for a clear break of structure. Let's see. We do have some pretty clear pullbacks. 1, 2, 3 waves up. Yeah, this one is definitely not that clear, but 1, 2, A, B, C, D, E correction. This does kind of make it look like it wants to go up again, because this does look like a trend. And then this does look like a possibly another correction, so it definitely could be an ABC for sure. Yeah, definitely JW Trader. That was pretty good. Yeah, in yesterday's Zoom meeting, we have basically a trading psychologist in the group now. So she gave us a presentation using me as a dummy. So yesterday's Zoom meeting. So that was pretty cool. Definitely worth checking out if you are a Patreon member. If you are interested in becoming a Patreon member to join in on these Zoom meetings that I do twice a week, then the link for that is in the description and in the chat. If you want to just join my Discord channel, it's 100% free to join, no obligations to pay a dime, then you can also do that too. So 1 hour time frame, I don't know, this does kind of look like a correction, honestly. 1, 2, 3 waves down. If this makes an impulsive engulfing move up, I would actually probably take that as a long, and then I would see what happens next, if it goes up and makes a C and then turns down, or if it goes up and makes a 3 and just keeps on trending up. So we're definitely going to have to see what happens next on that one. Let's go check out the NASDAQ and S&P, which was requested by one of my members. Let's see. I was expecting that these would all make another push up, which I'm still kind of looking like it might, honestly. Now, if the dollar's going to make a push up, then these should make a push down. So maybe this is going to make a turn to the downside, and this is going to make like a wave C, and then they'll go up and finish off this wave B, and this is like an A, B, C, D, E, or something along those lines, like an A, B, C, D, and E. Something like that, I think, is most likely. Heading down to the 4-hour time frame, I would be looking for a break of structure down to confirm that this move up is over, which we definitely don't have yet. So if we do get that break of structure down, then we may be due for a pretty good move down, especially because it seems like the dollar does want to go up. So definitely check that out. But until we get that break of structure, I would just continue to go long. Honestly, it looks like it's getting ready to make a long right now. And it very easily could just keep on going up to at least the 50% and maybe even higher. So I honestly would just continue to look for long entries at the end of ABC pullbacks. Nice little pullbacks. ABC down, ABC down, ABC down, ABC up, go short. So I think until it goes down and breaks structure, the trend is up. So I would still be looking for longs in an uptrend. If it does break structure to the downside, then I would start looking for shorts in a downtrend. It definitely has not done that yet. So until it does, I think we better just keep looking for longs in an uptrend. So let's see. The S&P 500, does that one agree? Yeah, that's pretty choppy, isn't it? Let's go back up to the daily. Let's see. I still think there's a good chance this eventually will go up and take that out, but it may actually make a push down and then go up after that. Maybe this is the A of B, and now it's going to go down and make a C of B, and then go up and make a, I'm sorry, not a C of B, but a B of B, and then go up and make the C of B. Something along those lines I do think is the most likely thing. 4-hour time frame. Very choppy right here. We got a major channel going on. It probably is going to continue to go down. It kind of looks like it could break down to the downside, honestly. Let's see. It looks like three waves up right there. I think this is more likely to keep going down, especially with the fact that we're near the top of that channel. Probably something like that. So really, I think we could be looking for shorts right now. It's very, very, very messy, but as you can see, it's making three-way patterns up, impulsive down. Every single move is impulsive, and every move up is like a three-way pattern to the upside. So that means that we want to look for impulsive, and then corrective, and then impulsive to keep going short. So yeah, I think at this point, really, we should probably continue to go short until we have some sort of proof that something is over on the longer time frames. Let's see. What do we got here? I don't see any more requests, so we can circle back to the dollar pairs. See if there's anything changed on the dollar. Looks like the dollar is about ready to make a little bit of a push down, but I think I'm starting to think more and more that these pushes down are just going to continue to be corrections based on the higher time frames. It does seem to me like we're in for a bigger move than we originally expected, which I've been saying for quite some time that this could turn out to be an A, B, and C, and it's starting to look more and more like that is what's going to happen. So if that's the case, then we really need to keep that in mind while we're looking at these sort of time frames, because if that's what's going to happen, then we really should just continue to look for longs in an uptrend. Or we should be looking for shorts on things like the euro. So if we do see like a three-way pattern up, something similar to this, three waves up, three waves up, three waves up, let's see, 1, 2, 3, three waves up, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That's what we're looking for. So if we see another three-way pattern up, then we may want to just continue to go short for the continuation of this trend. The trend is definitely still down, so really we should definitely just continue to trade with the trend. See, pound, dollar. The pound has definitely been very strong, but if the dollar is going to continue up, then this will most likely continue down, but it's probably going to go up and make another correction. Probably going to make a lower high, and it's probably just going to keep going down. If it goes up and breaks structure, that definitely will change my mind, but until I see that structure break, I would just keep looking for shorts in a downtrend for sure. Well, wow, we got a nice little uptrend right there. I think this is probably going to be a correction. I think it's going to make a correction to this last move down. Put your Fibonacci level from here to here. Look for three waves up. Look for an impulsive move down for another sorting opportunity. Kiwi dollar. Ooh, Kiwi dollar looks like it's already there. 1, 2, 3 waves up to a fib level. Impulsive turn. That may already be making a sorting opportunity on that one, honestly. Let's see. Do we have a break of structure on that third wave? Oh yeah, we do. We do have a break of structure on that third wave right there. If you're a scalper, I would be looking for a pullback to go short for sure. That looks like it's already making an entry. US dollar Canadian is another one that I was thinking may be making an entry. Now the Canadian is probably going to be affected by that oil news. If the news is volatile enough to affect it, I bet it's going to cause this to go up. We have that oil news in about 11 minutes or so definitely check that out if you trade oil. US dollar Swiss is making a push down, but most likely this push down is going to be a correction probably to this last wave, and it's probably just going to keep going up, I would say. US dollar yen, now this almost definitely is not over yet. Look how strong up that is. I would say that the next move down is going to be a correction to this move up almost definitely, and then it will end up continuing the uptrend. And gold. Gold is definitely kind of doing its own thing sometimes, but it is starting, for me at least, to get a little bit of clarity on the daily. I think the daily is pretty clear that this is a 1, 2, and we're in a 3. If we're in a wave 3, that means that anything we see to the upside is going to be a correction to the downtrend. And if we see a three-way pattern up, then we definitely want to go short for the continuation of this downtrend. So definitely keep an eye on that. So let's see. I don't see any more requests. We covered the dollar, the yen. We covered Bitcoin, oil, natural gas. So I think that's pretty much it for today. Then I guess we'll be back on. What is it? Today's Wednesday, Tuesday. So we'll be back on Thursday. I mean, no, not. I'm sorry, not Thursday. Sorry about that. Yeah, today's Wednesday. I'm sorry. I don't even know what day it is. So we'll be back on Friday. So the next live stream will be Friday. So hope to see everybody there. There'll be end of the week live stream. If you have not done so already, definitely join my free Discord channel. 100% free to join. Definitely like and subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. It makes a big difference to push my live streams and my videos out to new members. Thanks for coming, and I really do hope that everybody comes next time. And as always, thanks and happy trading.